baby. You're listening to Thrash Zone on KOUV, Tacoma, Washington. Yeah, it's been a killer night, but it's about to get a lot better, Fancy, because tonight we have for the first time on the show Kayla Dixon, singer of Witch Mountain from Portland, Oregon, and also Dress the Dead from San Francisco, California. Yeah. Kayla, welcome to Thrash Zone.
Hey, thanks for having me.
She sounds so mellow after I'm yelling and screaming. This is great. Kayla, you know what? We have been so impressed with what we heard with you. And like I told you earlier, you know, you came out of nowhere with me. I didn't really know about Witch Mountain. And then all of a sudden I did. And I realized that thousands of people hit your videos. They love your music. They love the EP that you did titled Witch Mountain. Why don't you tell us how it all kind of started with you?
Well, I just joined the band close to 5 years ago. But Witch Mountain has been around for almost as long as I've been alive. And I was a fan of the band for a little bit before I found out that they were looking for a vocalist. And so it was good timing. I just reached out and asked if I could audition and got the gig.
I know, and we've heard the audition. We've seen the audition. It's amazing, the audition video. This is fancy.
Oh, thank you.
And so that's just a beautiful thing. And so tell us about. Oh, I already know the answers to these questions, but what we want to kind of inform Billy's listeners. So I'm going to just ask you real easy questions that you already know the answers. Tell us about the Witch Mountain's recent tour that you guys are getting ready to go on with a big name band.
Right.
Cool. So we are getting ready to go on tour supporting COC. And,
Corrosion of Conformity.
Yeah, I'm super fucking excited.
Right?
It's going to be Witch Mountain, Mothership, The Skull, and COC.
Right, and you're going to be playing that for a couple of months, September through October. Looks like you're kind of hitting places. You know, tell us about that, man. That's going to be killer. Is this your first tour with Witch Mountain?
No, this is my, I want to say fifth.
Your fifth?
Tour.
Wow.
With Witch Mountain?
And I'll just let the fans know that
he's been smoking too much weed.
Right.
Hey, Kayla, you know what? I'm kind of interested in is your stuff that you're doing for I guess is it the Broadway play of Footloose, or what exactly is that?
So when I'm not on tour, I'm a working actor here in Portland, but I also do work in other places. So it's just wherever I can find acting work. I mainly do musicals, and I've been doing that since I was really young. So right now I'm in a show in Tigard, Oregon, and we're doing Footloose. I'm playing like the best friend of the lead girl. It's a really fun show. It's so really hard. Cool. It's like 2 hours straight of dancing. I'm also a dancer, so but it is a very physically taxing experience.
Mm-hmm. So that must
but
be...
I make good money.
Well, Portland's known for its dancers, that's for sure.
Do they say is that the one where they say don't put baby in a corner is that like a Pat Swayze movie or something?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I haven't, and a lot of people are going to cringe at this, but I haven't seen the movie. I tried to watch the movie, but then I was like thinking about it. I was like, this is going to affect my character development.
Here's what I was going to ask about the fans, Kayla, is isn't it true that the guitar player, Rob Wrong, isn't the Skull? Is that his band too?
Yeah. He's also in the Skull, and this will be our second tour where he's pulling double duty.
And
But
isn't it
he loves
also
it.
true that that Witch Mountain was like the first stoner doom band in Portland and kind of created that scene there?
I mean, I don't know the facts, so I don't want to like say anything that I can't prove, but basically, yeah.
Basically.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Right.
it's just amazing. It
Well,
really
it's a
is.
trip. Like there's some great like doom metal bands like Disenchanter from Portland.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
know
know
them.
those guys.
Yeah, they're killer.
Yeah.
And when I was talking to Kayla earlier today, I was surprised that I wasn't more familiar with what she's already done because she's accomplished a lot already in Portland, and now you're moving on. Like because you said you also do acting on TV and the stage and these kind of things. What kind of shows have you done? Like extra work on or dancing or whatever it is that
Film
you're
and
doing.
TV.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do musicals, so like a few of the standouts for me have been like I played Anita in West Side Story. I've done so many musicals, and I also do straight plays as well as television and film. So like
That's
my
why
TV and
you're
film
able to
credit-
project so well with your voice, right? From your stage experience. Your voice is amazing.
Yeah, I think that partially is part of the reason. I'm also a voice teacher, so I just
wow.
know the technique.
There you go.
But yeah, I've done like since I moved here, I got a really good agent when I moved here, and I've done like Portlandia, Grimm.
Yeah.
I got a Netflix movie.
Netflix.
It's been great.
You know what? I'm working on getting a movie that I did recently, Kayla, with the Mentors. It's called Kings of Sleaze, and we're trying to get that on Netflix too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we recorded it in Portland with April Jones from Sladen, Oregon, and she does video work of bands there in Portland and such. She lives in Los Angeles now, but that's excellent. So let's talk about Dress the Dead. You're already doing stuff with Witch Mountain in your hometown of Portland, and all of a sudden, Craig LoCicero puts out the word he's looking for a singer for Dress the Dead. Well, what made you want to go ahead and audition for that?
This is actually a really funny story. So we have a mutual friend, Jim, who had reached out to me saying, hey, there's this band, Dress the Dead, that is looking for a vocalist. And so I checked it out, and I immediately saw that they had Peter Dolving on vocals, and I'm like a huge fan of The Haunted. So I looked at it, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm up to replace someone again in a band, let alone Peter fucking Dolving.
Right, yeah.
So I didn't respond for maybe something like, I want to say 2 months. Maybe it was 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But when I finally did respond, I just kind of asked Craig, could I hear some more of the material? And because at the time they only had 1969.
Yes.
But the version with Peter on vocals, that was just out on YouTube. And I was like, well, I really need to hear more to be able to discern whether this is something that I would genuinely be interested in. And when they sent me some of the other songs that Peter had written and some of the instrumental songs that didn't have vocals on them, I was just completely floored, and obviously decided it was definitely something that I wanted to do. So I asked if I could audition, and yeah.
And of course they didn't say no because you already have all the experience.
That's so cool.
You know what, Kayla? Like my first experience listening to your voice, which instantly got me hooked, was a live show that you did in Portland. I think the song was Blitzkrieg. Is that right? Does that sound right?
No.
All right.
No.
Well, let me find out which one it was then. It was Shelter.
Oh, Shelter.
Shelter
Yeah,
at Hoverfest.
Oh, yeah, that was a
video
long
is
time
so
ago.
dope.
That was a good one. I mean, instantly I was like, yeah, I could see what the appeal is to this person, you know. And then that's when I started listening to more and more of what you were doing, and now I'm hooked, just like everyone else. I love your vocals. I love the delivery. You know, how do you keep your voice, you know, in shape? What do you do? Vocal warm ups or anything like that?
I do. So, I feel like I have a little bit of an advantage being a voice teacher, and because I deal with so many other people's voices,
Right.
that I'm able to learn through that experience little tips and tricks I can add. So, like, for example, on tour, I don't drink at all. I avoid smoke. We make sure that we book mainly non-smoking venues. We don't use haze on the stage. You know, I make sure I moisturize my vocal cords
Excellent.
constantly throughout the day. So, like, I have this, like, apparatus. I, like, breathe in steam, and it's something that a
Wow.
lot of singers do. And I, of course, warm up before the show, and I make sure I get a lot of sleep because that's really important with avoiding vocal fatigue as well. So it's very involved. It's not easy, and you know, you see a lot of, especially heavy music, a lot of vocalists just ripping and tearing their vocal cords and getting nodes and having to get surgery and like losing their
Right.
voice, and that's why it's so important to have proper technique, especially if you're gonna be in this genre.
Yeah.
Well, it really shows on that Promises and Kisses, because it's just amazing to hear the studio version of that and then to see you do it live because of the way that your voice goes up and down. It's just amazing. And isn't it true that Promises and Kisses, now is that like the song that you kind of did the audition for Dress the Dead with? Is that a Peter Dolving song?
Oh, good question.
It is. Peter wrote the vocals for that one, and that was the first song that I think I sent Craig back when I asked if I could audition. Yeah, it's a beautiful song. I love it. There's so many. I love it because there's a lot of dynamics emotionally throughout the course of the song, so it really does tell a story, which is my kind of thing. I don't like going to shows and seeing people just standing there performing. Like, if you're not connected to the emotions for me, I'm not interested in seeing your band.
All right. So context.
I think about what I would want to see.
Exactly. You want to be
and so I make
entertained
sure-
too. I mean, you know what I mean? You don't want to see someone staring at their shoes, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
nice to,
or
it's
just-
nice to have music
even
that
if-
you can connect with on stage.
Yeah, and it's not even necessarily just about if you're like timid and you know, staring at your shoes or whatever. But there are a lot of people who are very like out there and outrageous, and it's still not genuine. And that's something that's very important for me. So, yeah, I think about what I would want to see, and that's what I bring to the stage.
You know, I got to ask you, Kayla, like, being a vocal teacher and doing movies and Broadway plays and singing for Witch Mountain, how do you find the time to also sing for Dress the Dead on top of it? Because they're in San Francisco, you're up here with us in the Northwest, in Portland, in Stumptown, and, you know, how do you find the time? I mean, there must be a lot of traveling and a lot of preparation that you got to do. I don't know. There's only 24 hours in a day.
And tell us about the new guitarist while you're answering that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Most days I don't find the time to get everything done. I've got like take today, for example, I've got like 10 things left on my to-do list, all having to do with planning for both bands, like, you know, like trying to work on videos, trying to write a single, trying to, you know, get album artwork. Like, it's just
So
constantly, there's always something. So I kind of have to let that go, that idea that I'm going to get everything done and just get as much done as I can in a day. And, you know, we're really lucky, Dress the Dead is really lucky to have people who are financially invested in this band because they believe in us and they believe in our mission and what we're trying to do in the world. And so I'm able to fly there almost whenever I need to, and it doesn't hurt that it's only an hour and a half flight
exactly
away.
Right. So it's not going to bankrupt you right away, at least. But, you know what I mean? So how do you do that for, how do you jam with the band? Like, how often?
Right now, it's less because I'm doing shows, but
Sure.
when I'm not in a show, I'm there maybe twice a month, I like to say.
Okay,
but
that's not
it
bad.
varies.
Yeah, but,
Yeah,
when you're, playing amongst professionals like yourself, you don't really need to be in that room with other people as long as everyone's rehearsing their parts. Because when you do meet and come together, you already got your part done. So I can see how that works out. Yeah.
And I mean, these guys, despite how long they've been doing this and how professional they are, they still meet 2 days a week without me.
Sure.
Because nobody has, a huge ego in this band. They're constantly working on trying to improve, coming up with new material. And that's really awesome for me. I love working with people like that. People who know that they're never too good to get better. That's really important to me. So.
Yeah, Craig LoCicero is to me, he's got it so grounded with his head and where he's at as a musician. And that's exactly what you just explained. He doesn't have his head all blown up. He's a very grounded guy. But I do want to ask you something that just came to mind. Being that you're from the Northwest, and I know that Craig is a 49er fan, are you an Oregon Ducks fan, or are you a Seattle Seahawks fan?
I don't pay attention to sports at all. So.
All right, well, that saves you there then. Because I know, look, I was born in San Francisco, and of course I have the 49ers tattooed on my arm, but I defected to the Seahawks, and Craig just leashed out on me last year when I did that. Oh, he blasted me for that one. I know you're listening, Craig, but hey, I love my Niners once upon a time, but that was in the 80s, dude. All right. That's good that you're not a sports fan so much then. But, your career and where you're going and just how you've just come into light with people like me so fast, I think is great. And, I'm going to be paying attention to what you're doing now, Kayla, now that I know who you are, what you're doing, and the fact that you're right here in Portland. It's going to be great to see what you come up with here in the future.
Yeah. I mean, I've constantly got ideas circling around in my head, just about having the time to get it all out there. So.
Right. Well, you're doing all the right moves. The fact that you take care of your body, that you're warming up, you're doing, you're teaching, you're so involved in it. That's the way to go. That's how professionals work, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, I just really think you can't half-ass it, especially if you're going to be working in this genre, because just even physically, takes the voice out of it.
Right.
How do you maintain that kind of stamina to be able to give your all on stage physically, night after night for a month in a row? It's serious shit.
It is, because, to be a guitar player, you just change your strings. But if you're a singer, you blow out your voice one night, you're done for a few days at least.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's pretty good that you can be resilient. Play with these other people that are professional, and do it night after night at such a high level.
Thank you. Yeah. I feel like there are a lot of singers out there, female vocalists, that are raising the bar as far as talent and just true musicianship is concerned. So, keeps getting better and better constantly. Like there are so many insanely talented people in this genre. So I know I'm not alone in that.
Yeah, right.
Right.
So Kayla, where can everyone find you? Like, for social media, where can they get your merch? Where can they get your EP? All that stuff.
So, Witch Mountain has an EP out with me called Burn You Down, and also a self-titled album out. And you can get both of those as well as any merch. We have like shirts, everything. We have vinyl as well on our Bandcamp page.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it's like witchmountain.bandcamp.com. And you will get your stuff on time because Rob runs the Bandcamp. So
right.
he's great about
Awesome.
sending that shit out on time. And Dress
He's
to Dead
great at guitar
does have shirts available, I believe. And I think you can find them on our Facebook page, or find the link at least to purchase them through our Facebook page. We're just Dress to Dead on Facebook, and Witch Mountain is just Witch Mountain on Instagram, or at Instagram and Facebook. Both bands are on all platforms. I'm on Instagram as
Nice.
Kayla_Dixon_vocals, and I'm on Facebook as Kayla Dixon Singer, and that'll link you to my artist page. Yeah, I think that's everything.
That is everything, isn't it? All right. Well, is there anything else that you want to say to everyone listening right now, Kayla, on 2 radio stations heard and streamed in 129 countries?
Yeah, I just want to say I fucking love all of you guys.
Yeah.
You guys are fucking awesome. Thank you for being a fan of both bands. Thank you for your constant support. It means the world to us, and as long as we have your support, we're going to keep going, and we're going to keep doing this. So, thanks.
That is so excellent. Kayla, you're so involved with these 2 bands right now, but down the road, do you potentially see a solo record that you're going to put out?
I don't think I'd ever put out like a solo record as a solo artist.
Yeah.
But maybe in like 10 years I'll have my own band. Who knows?
Yeah.
I have lots of ideas, so you never know.
There you go. Yeah, well, I'm going to be paying attention. That's for damn sure. This is a lot of talent. This is a hell of a woman with a great voice. And we're going to play 6 songs of yours right now, Kayla. What do you think of that?
I think it's awesome. Thank you so much for
I wanted
having me.
to hear. Kayla Dixon of Witch Mountain from Portland, Oregon, and Dress the Dead from San Francisco. I want to thank you for coming on the show for the first time tonight.
Thank you. I had fun.
All right. All right, now you know where to go. Now you know where to look. It's all about Dress the Dead. It's all about Witch Mountain. And you're going to hear it right here now on CouvRadio.com in Vancouver, Washington, and also in Tacoma, where we are broadcasting live right now. So here we go, baby. Are you ready?
We're ready.
Then let's do it. Crank it.